Have you ever wondered why the moon shines so brightly in the night sky? It's a common misconception that the moon produces its own light. But in fact, the moon is similar to a gigantic mirror, reflecting the light from our very own sun. You see, the moon doesn't have its own light source. Instead, it shines because its surface reflects sunlight. And depending on how the moon, the sun, and earth align, we see different proportions of the moon's surface lit up, giving us what we know as the phases of the moon. From a new moon when it's nearly invisible, to a full moon when it's a complete and brilliant circle, these phases are actually caused by the ever-changing angles of sunlight hitting the moon's surface as seen from our perspective here on Earth. So, the next time you gaze up at the moon, remember, it's not its own light you're seeing, but sunlight reflected off its surface. Now, ever thought about how far away the moon really is from us? It's a question that has intrigued humans for centuries. After years of astronomical observations and calculations, it was determined that the moon, on average, is approximately 238,855 miles away from Earth. Yes, you heard it right. This distance was first measured accurately during the Apollo missions, when astronauts placed retroreflectors on the lunar surface and scientists on Earth bounced lasers off them. The time it took for the laser to return gave them the distance. But here's a little twist. The moon's orbit around our planet isn't a perfect circle. It's more of an ellipse, so the distance varies slightly as the moon travels along its orbit. This variation influences how large the moon appears in our sky. So, while the moon might seem close on a clear night, it's still a whopping 238,855 miles away, on average. Let's take a moment to recap what we have learned about our closest celestial neighbor, a constant presence in our night sky. The moon, while appearing to glow with its own light, is actually a master of illusion. Its radiant glow is not self-generated, but rather a reflection of the sunlight striking its surface, a phenomenon known as lunar illumination. The moon's surface acts like a giant mirror, reflecting the sun's rays back to us here on Earth. It's a cosmic game of catch, with the moon and sun tossing light back and forth across the vast expanse of space. Speaking of vast expanses, let's not forget the moon's distance from the Earth. On average, it sits a staggering 238,855 miles away. That's almost 10 times the circumference of our planet. Next time you gaze up at the moon, remember these fascinating facts about its light and distance. Who knew our nightly companion held such secrets?